Today's video is about my favorite character in Jujutsu Kaisen as of this point. It's King Steph, and I'm going to be going over the strongest human, the ghost of the Zenin clan, and a man who has impacted JJK both in the living and in the dead, Toji Fushiguro. From a character standpoint, everything about Toji was well placed in simplicity that gets expanded upon. Even his design standout feature is his face that just looks like it has a story to tell through the expression and the scar that is placed on it. With a simple attire of a black t-shirt and gray sweatpants, in combat he looks cold. Meanwhile, he also single-handedly boosted the women's interest in the manga. Known as the Sorcerer Killer, Toji has a cold persona and is a very laid-back person in general. Almost coming off as if he could care less about anything. As long as the money is right, Toji would take the job and kill whoever you need him to take care of. Even though he was brought up in the Zenin family, a clan that doesn't treat others equally at all, they disrespect people who are weak, and if you have zero curse energy like Toji, you're casted as a black sheep. Yet being the most dangerous man in the clan, the light he did find was his wife, who we don't know the name of, but she just goes by Mama Girl, and his son Meg. And those two are mainly the real reason that he never attacked the Zenin clan in general, even though he really could have at any point and any time he wanted to. Because 9 times out of 10, if he did massacre the entire Zenin clan, he would have made his wife and his son targets of the Jujutsu higher up. Now I want to get into Toji as a fighter. Toji, obviously with his complete heavenly restriction, zero curse energy, zero curse techniques, no aura, nothing. The benefit of this body is superhuman prowess, heightened senses, incredible speed, strength, everything that you would think of when you come of an above average human being. Also, considering the fact that he has no curse energy, he's also undetectable by barriers. Remember, when sorcerers use any type of barriers, it's all about curse energy. So when Kenjaku put up all those barriers in like Shibuya, Toji can walk through without the barriers stopping him or them even noticing him. And this goes for domain expansions as well. He can choose whether or not he wants to be in the barrier, but the guaranteed hit effect won't track him because he can't find any cursed energy. He's also got his little inventory curse leech where he stores his weapons. These type of cursed spirits are something you have to tame over time so that way they can carry the weapons you want to hold and take into battle. Toji just really a Dark Souls character for real. But in this leech, he carries cursed tools. A regular katana, a combat knife, a Glock, which is like everyone's favorite weapon. And as for his cursed tools, he carries the split soul katana, a katana that cuts through cursed spirits and directly targets the soul. Inverted Spear of Heaven, a special grade curse tool that has an imbued curse technique in it that shuts off curse techniques when you stab an opponent. Highly effective curse tool. We also have the Chain of 1,000 Miles, a chain that extends as far as it wants as long as the enemy can't see the back end of it. Toji hides it in the leech, which is big brain play. Playful Cloud, a special grade tool, a 3-section staff that is all about the user's pure power. And against Dagon, he rubbed the staff together, making them 2 shanks basically, and destroying Dagon right after. We see a lot of other characters use this. The Playful Cloud is kind of like the symbol curse tool of the series. Now, as for his battles, I think we all know that Toji is part of the most iconic battle, or one of, in the series. His battle with Gojo in Hidden Inventory is legendary. From literally the start to the end, Toji really showed how a human who has no curse energy and superhuman abilities can go against someone who's the equivalent of a god in JJK in a young teen Gojo. Even though at this point in the story, Gojo wasn't declared the strongest just yet, his shocking entrance of just stabbing Gojo in the back with a regular katana while Gojo was exhausted, mixed with the fact you can't detect him because of his heavenly restriction, off the bat showing us how intelligent he is and how much thought he puts into taking out his opponents. Yet, despite the fact that his appearance in the first time we see him, he doesn't really come off as someone who puts that much thought into taking out an enemy. Also, I love how this fight is so unique and perplexing at the same time on the first read, because even though Gojo gets stabbed, he tells Geto, who wants to worm curse at Toji, to just take care of Amai and not to worry about it. I'll take care of this. Gojo really carries the responsibility of being the strongest, and it really starts to show it right here more than anything. But once we saw Toji slash through this curse's guts with the soul katana, we knew this man was different. This is not going to be something Gojo can just blitz through. We get some amazing panels of Toji jumping around from roof to roof of the school, zigzagging close to Gojo. I love how Toji knew about what Limitless was capable of to an extent based off the knowledge that he already knew. and he fights accordingly to that. And Gojo, having never fought a heavily restriction user, was trying to adapt as best he could, wiping away any leverage with blue laps to clear the area. And this is really where Toji shows his bag, using hundreds of fly heads to alert Gojo's senses to a high level, sliding in and stabbing him with the inverted spear of heaven in the throat, then in the legs, and a combat knife stab to the dome, which in hindsight was really a big flaw that Toji did. But this boy, Toji shows why he's known as a killer, the sorcerer killer. But Geto and Amai ran away to the tomb, and right when Geto gave a heartfelt speech to Amai about having her live her life out, and Amai looking happy to hear that Gojo and Geto always valued her over being the vessel to Tengen, a bullet is delivered right through her skull, and this is where Glock Toji was born. Geto, acting on sheer emotion, finding out Toji beat Gojo and killed Amai, tried to attack with the Rainbow Dragon, which at the time was supposed to be his most durable Shikigami in Geto's arsenal. And we get this memorable panel and kind of iconic for Jujutsu Kaisen at times because it's a little bit of a meme of Toji aiming his handgun at Geto with his dragon getting ready to attack Toji. As with ease, Toji slices and dices this dragon up. Also, I really like the Invisible Man dialogue in this. Toji eating the leech curse so the bear couldn't detect the leech that carried the cursed tools. Really smart. And plus, Toji was kind of spitting all throughout this entire arc. But Geto launched a vengeful curse spear that tried to get kind of freaky with Toji, I guess. And Toji told her to just get her ugly ass on somewhere, parrying all of her sharp weaponry attacks. Geto tried to catch Toji off guard and get sliced up as if he was fodder. This is Geto, who was a grade 1 who eventually got to a special grade, getting treated as if he was just a mere pebble in the way. And the thing out of all of this I found so cool yet small was the fact that Toji found them using his regular 5 senses. This is still one of the greatest showcases for a single character, not only in Jujutsu Kaisen, but of the modern era in anime and manga. And we all remember the famous rematch of Gojo versus Toji. Every panel from this entire fight is just mesmerizing. Toji eliminates Amai and he walks and he sees Gojo. He looks as if he just resurrected himself. This is Gojo who saved his own life with the reverse curse technique, the one thing he didn't know how to do, which kind of perfected his game. Once he arrives and confronts Toji, greatness is awakened. Toji tries to attack Gojo and assess the change in him, but Gojo is just dodging with ease at this point, and he feels like a new being. Toji with the perfect analogy of just assuming he's high. The iconic throughout heaven and earth, I alone, and the honored one panel. We got that, and Gojo ends this fight with the best hollow purple he's ever done. And that uneasiness Toji felt from Gojo was Toji deviating from his true self. And with a huge hole in his body, he thinks about Megumi and his wife, Mamaguro, with his last words being, "My kid will be sold off in 2 to 3 years to the Zenin clan. Do as you please." And Toji Fushiguro is dead. And Gojo honored Toji's words and looks after Megumi, the young goat we see today. And Toji at this point was someone who inherently broke the concept of curse energy and curse techniques and the overall society of Jujutsu with just the body he was birthed with. Until we get to the Shibuya incident when, a surprise of all surprises, the ghost of the Zenin clan is alive once again, but this time via a seance from the granny of the retirement home trio. She turned her son into Toji. Little did she know, Toji's heavenly restricted soul was too strong for her son and took over the body entirely. He abuses Ino on the top of that roof. I felt really bad for him. Throws him off of it. Then proceeds to break into the Dagon versus everyone fight through Megumi's domain, mauls Dagon, and then before it's all said and done, he wanted to confront his son Megumi. Even though Megumi was not ready for this fight whatsoever, he tried to escape with rapid escape, devise a plan, hide within his own shadows to evade attacks. Toji counters it all, compares Toji to a two-finger Sukuna in terms of speed, and it comes down to one question. What is your name? Megumi says Megumi Fushiguro. Toji says good and offs himself. Happy to know that Megumi doesn't accept the Zenin family name and continue to use the name his mother gave him. Toji as a fighter was elite, and as a person who possessed zero curse energy, some will say he's worthy of the special grade title. We'll never know if someone like him will ever be looked at in that similar fashion. Or will we? Even though he's dead in the story, Toji's impact is alive and well. I think Gege does a phenomenal job at displaying Toji post-mortem, mainly between two characters, Megumi Fushiguro and Maki Zenin. We'll always think of Toji whenever Megumi gets selfish in battle, and comes off battle crazed and dead set on completing his mission, even if it means killing someone. He makes some maniacal faces to say the least, which are pretty raw if I do say so myself, and everyone including myself views this as Megumi showing his Toji side. We've seen it mainly in the moment he casted his domain expansion for the first time, and in the Culling games against Reggie, someone who countered Megumi pretty heavily in the fight. I'm really looking forward to the future, and I wonder if Megumi will have a true self moment sometime in the manga. In Maki Zenin, she is the modern day Toji, and a fully heavily restricted zero curse energy sorcerer that really is unmatched. She's been compared to Toji all throughout her journey while still maintaining her individuality. While Maki tore through the Zenin clan, it was once stated that Toji could have done the same thing, but basically they got lucky with Nobito being a decent human being to Toji and his wife, of course. And one of the most prolific panels in Jujutsu Kaisen is when OG Zenin feels Maki has changed due to her fully reaching her heavenly restriction. He gets a feeling the same as Toji Zenin, and we get a side to side panel of them both. Just straight raw energy all throughout this moment. Thanks to Mai, her last gift to Maki was Toji's Soul Sword, which is in my opinion the strongest curse tool as of right now. And after Sakurajima, she erased the mental, emotional block that she had against Naga, which I don't care, that whole process post Mio symbol domain was fire. And she's acknowledged by the narrator as being a demonic fighter equal to Toji. I always looked at it from this point of view. Toji's legacy will be realized by Maki and Megumi. Maki will show the world how powerful a mere human can be with heavily restriction by going lengths even Toji couldn't reach. And Megumi with the Fushiguro name will be a central character in changing Jujutsu Society forever. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. It was really fun talking about Toji, one of my favorite characters in all of JJK. And I'll let y'all in the next one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all. Peace. Shirts and